Greetings and welcome back. It is the Q&A portion of the show. We just talked about extension tubes, macro extension tubes from this little company called Makey or Mikey or Make or something. And these are awesome. These totally work. We just demonstrated how they work with a variety of lenses. And I think this is a really good, simple, cheap addition to pretty much everybody's camera bag that if you ever want to do any kind of close-up macro work, video or stills, it's a way to go. So this is the Q&A portion of the show where we tried to A the Qs, and let's just see what has come up over here. Let me bring up the comments and scroll up to the top here. For those of you watching live, if you have a question, make sure you put @PhotoJoseph in front of it, and we'll do our best to answer the show. So, hey, Frederick Van Johnson, greetings, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for doing the show. Always wanted a deeper dive. Well, hopefully that deeper dive was as deep as you wanted. Burns says, I've been considering this option as well, so this is a perfect show. Right on. The beauty of these is they're super inexpensive. $24 for these things. Again, we're going to link to this down below as well, and you've got just a really inexpensive way to get super close up with your existing lenses without having to go out and buy a macro lens. If you're not doing it all the time, I think it's a really great option to have. Burnstack, save this comment for later. Okay, now it's later. Did you switch everything back to 24p on the cameras from when you made the slow-mo video? The slow-mo video, okay, so you're talking about the slow motion video that I did demonstrating slow motion. That was recorded at 30p or whatever it was. I didn't use these cameras, so I think you might be talking about the stuttering that you're saying, but that's a bandwidth thing on somebody else's end. Anyway, everything's back to 30p. Yes, I am shooting at 30p. For my camera, shooting 24p here. I'm not quite sure what the question was, but hopefully that answered. Bart says, basically, isn't it that the closer you get your millimeters of extension to your focal length millimeters, that it will be closer focusing? Right, exactly. So the closer, the more, all right, so if you have this is a 35 to 100, if you put if you set it at 35 and you put 35 mil of extension tubes in here, that's going to give you the closest that you could possibly get. If you put 50 mil of extensions in there, then you would get too close. You wouldn't be able to go that close. If you put 16 mil, then it would be closer than it focuses natively, but not as close as it would be if you extended the distance. Essentially, the more distance you put, here's the way you look at it. Camera, lens. The more distance you put between these, the closer you can get the front element to the subject. Until you go too far, and at that point, it's like an inverse thing, and the closest point goes inside of the lens, and so you can no longer focus on something outside of the lens. So that's essentially what that is. Let's see, Zachariah says, would love to try it with the PL 12-60 and see how it works. Will you be doing it? That's what the Q&A is for. Let's give it a try. Give me a second here. We'll find a 12-60. The PL, I'm assuming by PL you mean Panasonic Leica. So here we go. This is the Leica 12-60. Let's see what we get. I'm going to put this thing back on the... I should have grabbed another battery while I was there. I'm going to put this back on the stand here because it's a lot easier to do any kind of macro demo when the camera's not bouncing around too much. All right, let's put that on there. And it is going to need a new battery. Okay, give me just a second here. Let me go grab that. I have it sitting right over here, and I forgot to grab it before the show started. And here we go. All right. So I'll put the 12-60 on. Let's see, being that it's 12-60, if I put the full combination at 26, I will not be able to use it at 12. So I'm just going to put one of them on there, and let's see what we get. I don't know if there's this particular combination you want to try, but we'll just try one. So let's first. I like the idea of kind of telephoto-y macro. So I'm going to put this on. We'll test it at 60 mil, and we'll see how close we get there. So take the lens cap off. That's always a good start. Turn that back on. Let's zoom this into 60 and let's go to manual focus on here and set the closest focus possible. And then move my flowers into frame here. Whoa. Wait, are you kidding me? I had no idea this thing focused this close. Okay, be prepared to be blown away. Look at how close this is. That's at 60 mil, and its closest focusing point. It focuses really close. Well, I don't know that you really need the macro tube for this combination. That's impressive as heck. But let's see what we can do. So let's go full on. Where did my tubes go? I don't know where they went anymore. Here we go. Let's put the full combination. We'll take the 16 and the 10. We'll put those together. So now we've got a total of 26. Line up the white dots, genius. I kind of wish the dots were red. The dots are white along with all the writing on the lens tube, and it's a little hard to find. Whatever. Okay, so we're at 60 on this. We're going to put this on the 26. So, see again there, I can't find it. There it is, the 26. All right, and once again, the lens is at 60. I'm going to go manual focus. And, oh, well, this is interesting. Here, let me look at this. So there we're focused, and look at the focus point at the bottom. We are almost all at the infinity point, almost all the way out. So now let's rack this all the way to macro. I'm actually going to take the lens shade off of this just to make sure that doesn't get in the way. And at the closest point, we are we are touching the glass. I think I'm actually touching the glass at this point. Crazy. So that's impressive. This lens, that 12-60 focuses way more closely than I realized. So let's try zooming it out. We'll go to 12. I'm going to have to take one of these extension tubes off. Let's go just down to 10 mil. And then I'm going to take it all the way down to 12. So the lens is set to 12 millimeter. I'm on the 10 millimeter extension tube. And let's go back to the closest focusing point. Move this guy in. And we are too close. I can't focus that close. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom to 18 mil. Again, we are basically touching the glass. Let's go to 25 mil. Wow. Okay, this is crazy. So I would say if you're using the 12-60, I don't know that these extension tubes will actually do you any good. Because, I mean, okay, there's that, right? If you want that, you could go. That's pretty close on there. But that's wild. Interesting. Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Very glad. I had no idea that thing focused that close. I guess I've never tried it before. Fantastic. Okay, let's go back into the comments. Let's see what else we got going on here. Bart said, and the comments go falling off. Bart says, because the wide being able to get closer than the telephoto doesn't make sense, but it's actually how much extension is on there compared to the focal length. Right. I think I understand what you're saying. As we've just seen, it tends to work better with longer lenses, which I think is a more useful thing for macro stuff especially if you're doing video, because you don't necessarily want to be like right on top of it. You want to be able to do some close-up, pan along the keyboard, you get those keys all close-up type of a thing. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Just Smith just added the blue ones to my overflowing Amazon cart. I eventually got to hit that buy. It's much easier if you just buy them as you add them. That's what Prime is for. Otherwise, you fill up your cart and you're like, why am I spending $800 at Amazon? Let's see here. Mark Paul Cordero says, thank you. Just bought it from your link in red. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Burns Tech, never mind on me asking about the FPS on the cameras. Oh, even the lower third bounders popping up slow might be YouTube stream. Yeah, YouTube is doing something weird, I think. Everybody's talking about a stuttery show. Ordering one of those now, are they on your kit page? Frederick, they are. I don't think I've added them to the kit page yet, but the link is down below already for this straight to Amazon. And incidentally, if you haven't seen the kit page, go check that out, kit.com/PhotoJoseph. Which incidentally, I totally forgot to do this in the real show, but let's do this right now. Let's bring up my value for value. This is the part where I say, hey guys, if you learned something from the show, if you have taken value from today's show, then please contribute value back. It's a value for value idea. We have a Patreon. You can contribute on a monthly basis. There's PayPal if you just say, hey, you know what, that was worth a few bucks. Here's a few bucks. You can shop on the affiliate store, as many of you already have. Thank you very much. And if you're doing something really big, bad, and delicious, and you want to get a little bit of personal help on there, you can hire me directly. So all of this you can find at photojoseph.com/support. That's the webpage that will take you to all the resources for all those ways to provide value back into this little show that hopefully you are enjoying. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Zachariah is saying, thanks for trying it out with the 12-60. It's my favorite lens for almost everything, but that combo came into my mind as it can do decent semi-macro work. Yeah, again, I really don't think it's necessary. I mean, I guess if you do the 10, you go all the way up to 60. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick. We're gonna go to the 10 millimeter. We're at 60. See how close we can get. So 10, yeah, see, there you go. Now we're getting into where this becomes useful. So this is the 10 millimeter tube. Get that right up in there. This is at 60 millimeters, and you can see the distance there. It's very, very close. And yeah, I would say now we're in the realm of proper macro photography. So again, it works better at the longer focal lengths, for sure. Burn sticks, do you have to use both pieces of the tubes, or is it one or both kind of thing? It's one or both. So right now I only have the 10mm on there. If I wanted to get this even closer, I could put just the 16, or you combine them for a total of 26. And theoretically, you could buy multiple kits of these. So if you had a, let's say you've got the 100 to 400mm lens, the Leica, Panasonic Leica 100 to 400. You could buy a couple of these kits, stack them all together, and as long as you don't go over 400 mil, which would be a hard stretch, you could continue to bring things closer and closer. So that's kind of interesting. Actually, that's really interesting because a lot of times when you're shooting kind of wildlife-y type things, if you got small wildlife, you might want to be able to get a little bit closer and you want to get super tight zoom on there. That could be cool. I don't have that lens. If I had that lens, I'd put it on here and see what we got. But yeah, you can combine them together. I don't know that there's any limit. I haven't seen anything about how many you can stack before things start to fall apart. There's obviously electronic communication passing through from contact to contact. I don't see why it would be a problem to just keep on stacking them to the maximum of what the lens could handle. Could be fun. Could be fun to do. Okay, that's it. That's the last question on there. We are going to wrap this thing up. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. That was a fun show. Hey, also, I forgot to do all kinds of things on the last, on the actual proper show. If you are going to be at NAB, then by all means, come see us. Come check us out. Come hang out. Go to photojoseph.com/NAB. That'll redirect you to my Facebook page, or just go to the Facebook page and find the meetup. We're doing a meetup on April 10th. It says 9:30 on there. I actually changed it to 9 a.m. start 9 a.m. meetup because we'll go live at 9 o'clock. This is going to be at the Courtyard Marriott, which is right across the street from the convention center. So if you are at NAB next week, come see us on Tuesday. Go to the Facebook page and sign up there just so I know how many people are coming. Right now, Bart's the only person signed up. Thanks, Bart. Last year, we had almost a dozen people. It was fun. And I just did it by email. So hopefully, some of you guys who were there last year, Bart's coming already, and some of you other guys will be able to come out as well. Frederick, are you going? I haven't seen anything if you're going out there or not. All right, that's it. That is everything. Okay, folks, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. That was a ton of fun. That was a neat little show to do. I hope you enjoyed it. And I know a lot of you folks have already bought the tube. So awesome on that. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. And today's Friday, so that means next time I see you, I will be at NAB. Bye-bye.